Let's get to the game details. Battlefield Iowa is about an experience. It will not be a BB flinging event. It's about quality, not quantity, as this game will be filled with objectives and squad maneuvering. You must be a team player to attend this event. No Lone Rangers need to apply, because there's not a space for you. Battlefield Iowa is a continuous game from start to end, with no breaks in between. Make sure your gear is ready for that. Bring plenty of snacks, water, and whatever else you'll need to last the duration of the game. This event will feature a concept of Game Masters. Game Masters are select individuals who have built this idea from the beginning and will coordinate, play the game, lead, and ref on the field. They are part of the game. You will give them respect and authority as you would give me. At no time may a Game Master use his authority as an advantage over another team. It is our best interest to enable players to have a great experience more than winning or losing. Now, don't be fooled, they will try their hardest to lead their team to victory, but in the end it's about everyone going home and having an amazing day of airsoft. Battlefield Iowa has specific requirements you will need to attend this event. Please pay close attention to the following details. If you show up on game day without these requirements, you will not play. You have plenty of time to get what is needed, and these items will be reused for future games. Invest into these items. It will be worth it. First off, nobody under the age of 16 is allowed at this event. We will check IDs on every person during check-in. If you show up without an ID, you will not play. Period. Teams will be divided by tan and green uniforms. The only accepted camo patterns for this event are the following. Green team may wear any of the combination of Woodland BDU, Woodland Marpat, and or Olive Drab. Tan team may wear any combination of DCU, Desert Digital Marpat, and or Coyote Brown or Tan. That is it. You may mix and match patterns within your team's choices, meaning you can wear a Coyote Brown coat with DCU pants if you're on the tan team. These requirements are only for your uniform under your gear. Your uniform consists of pants and shirt. Your chest rig, plate carrier, or vest does not have to match. Your helmet does not have to match, but it cannot have a camo pattern cover of the other team on it. The approved camo patterns that have been selected were chosen to easily contrast between teams, and they are readily available and somewhat cheap to obtain. No other patterns will be allowed, so please don't ask. Ghillie suits must conform to your team's color. Tan-based ghillie suits for the tan team, and green-based ghillie suits for the green teams. Trust me, snipers, there's plenty of tan areas and green areas you will be able to hide. Battlefield Iowa will also feature magazine and ammo restrictions. Only low caps, standard caps, or mid caps will be allowed. No high caps. If it's got a winder or a pull string, it's not allowed. The only exception are light machine gun style weapons, aka support weapons. They may have a box mag setup. Support weapons, by nature, are belt-fed weapons, like the M249, the M60, the RPK, and MG42. For example, an M4 with a drum mag is not considered a support weapon and is not allowed to be set up this way for this event. All rifles must conform to the mag restriction rules. All player classes except support may have a maximum of 850 BBs loaded into mags for all their weapons on their person. Support class are allowed to carry a maximum of a full box mag. You may carry spare BBs on your person, but you cannot load mags on the field. Mags must be loaded at a respawn point or a main base. No exceptions. The next requirement for Battlefield Iowa is you are required to have an IFAK pouch on your person with 2 ACE bandages, as discussed previously. You need to provide this. A red dead rag or cloth is required. You must have this item to signal out to other players. A GMRS radio is a requirement. A standard Motorola or Cobra radio will do fine, but I recommend a puxing radio for better communication. No Vox mics are allowed, meaning voice-activated microphones. They never work, don't bring them. Personal hydration is a requirement. All players must have a liter or more water on their person at all times. You need to provide enough water to last all day. Spare water can be stored at your main base. Dehydration is no joke. It can happen to anybody. I've personally seen a close friend go from fine to sick to throwing up to an IV stuck in his arm. He was very close to being hospitalized. It was not a good experience. I will not let that happen to anybody on my field. Bring plenty of water. Don't expect a 12-ounce bottle of water to hold you all day. Start drinking water days before this event. Your body will thank you. If you're familiar with the video game series Battlefield, you will easily understand the gameplay for Battlefield Iowa. Our battlefield is huge. Take a look. This is our whole AO. Most of the boundaries are surrounded by a fence as marked on the map. All players will have access to updated maps with starting locations and flag locations before this event. There will be 2 main bases on opposite sides of the map. These cannot be captured and must stay clear of enemy fire. All enemy players may not come within shooting range of the main base. These main bases are never safe zones, so your eyewear will remain on at all times. Make sure you pack your gear accordingly, as you will have to haul it on foot to your starting base. The parking lot is a long distance away from the starting bases, so do not expect to work out of your vehicle during the day. Pack a separate bag with snacks, extra water, spare ammo, green gas, and anything you'll need to keep you on the field. Throughout the field are flagpoles with 2 flags called control points. Each control point will have a flag for each team on a pulley system. In order to capture a control point, your team's flag must be raised to the very top of the pole. Once your team's flag's at the top of the pole, your team controls this point. Pretty simple. Whoever holds this control point at the end of the game wins the points to the flag. Each control point will have a set point value, and these points will be added up to determine who's the winning team at the end of the day. There will also be special missions worth additional points that will be revealed and explained the day of the event. Now, keep in mind, a control point can be taken from you if it's not properly defended. If a flag is lowered from the top of the pole, it is no longer under any team's control. A flag must be at the top of the pole to claim ownership of that control point. Fight to keep ownership of your control points. The control points that your team owns are also used for respawning. After you run out of medic bandages in your IFAK pouch, you may respawn on any control point that your team has ownership of. Once you reach that control point, you must wait 1 minute before returning to battle. During this time, be sure to remove your bandages and roll them up and place them back in your IFAK pouch. Also, reloading magazines must be done at a spawn point, never on the field. I will say this again to make it perfectly clear. Reloading mags must only be done at a spawn point, never on the field. You may carry spare BBs and speed loaders on your person, but you can only use them at your start base or a control point that is owned by your team. At any time, a control point can be contested. Now this is very tricky, so please pay close attention to what I'm about to explain. When an enemy team approaches to take a flag that is controlled by the opposite team, that team that already owns it may no longer use it as a respawn until the enemy is fully dispersed. Even if you're waiting your 1 minute to respawn and the enemy starts putting fire on that location, you cannot respawn there anymore because it's in a contested state. As soon as this happens, you must immediately move to another control point that your team owns to respawn. You cannot wait by the flag to see how the outcome of the battle goes. Basically, if you feel that you're in the way and BBs are flying past you while you're trying to wait in your respawn, you cannot respawn there and must go back to another control point to wait your 1 minute. When defending your team's control points, make sure to push your defensive line out far enough from the control point so it does not become contested. A general rule to keep in mind, if the enemy can shoot and hit anybody waiting at the flag, it is now in contested state and your team cannot respawn there. We have several special missions that will be revealed leading up to this event. They will turn the tide on who wins at the end of the day, I promise you that. I think everyone will really love what we're creating for your Battlefield Iowa experience. Last item I want to address are radios. It is crucial to have good, solid team communication in order to succeed in this game setup. We are playing on a large-scale field, and without proper communication, your team will not be able to effectively maneuver and outflank the enemy. Guys, when you come out for this event, you need to get involved and run as squads and stay in communication with your team at all times. From beginning to end, stay in contact. Keep your squad movements off the radio and down to hand signals and voice calls. When you're shot out, try your hardest to respawn and then hook back up with your squad. When in doubt, head to that location that you were at last. Stick together. Only Game Masters are allowed to use Channel 1. In the event of an emergency or a major safety concern, please use this channel to contact a Game Master. Otherwise, it is off limits. The green team main channel is number 2 GMRS. The tan team main channel is number 3 GMRS. Jamming comms is a no-go on the field, and if you're caught trying to disrupt communications on any of these channels, you will be escorted off the field. All channels and sub-channels that are not listed here are open to use by anybody. I mentioned before about Vox mics. These are a no-go on the field. All they do is jam up communication and cause frustration. Vox is a voice-activated setting to communicate instead of using a push-to-talk feature. Please check and make sure your radio or mic does not have this feature turned on before the event. If you're not sure, check your instruction manual or online for details. Also, please shut off your Roger beep after transmissions. Nothing is more annoying than hearing constant beeps in your headset. All radios have this setting, so shut yours off before you come out. Finally, learn how to lock your radio so that if you accidentally hit buttons when you're maneuvering, they do not transmit. I cannot stress how important good communication is. Come out prepared and ready to go. My name is Ty. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you out there on the battlefield. Play it smart, play with honor.